boys and girls, let's talk more about our friend Jesus. We've been talking a lot about Jesus and his miracles. And we said no one can do miracles except Jesus because he's God's son. That's right. Remember we talked about some of Jesus's miracles? He's walked on water. Amazing. He turned water into wine at the wedding feast at Cana. Nobody else can do that. Well, today we have another story with another miracle that Jesus performed. Are you ready to listen to the miracle of the 5 loaves and the 2 fish? All right, let's take a look at the cover. There's Jesus, and you can see a huge crowd of people. And then here's this little boy, and he has a basket. What's inside his basket? He has 2 fish and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loaves of bread. Let's talk more about this story. This is a Bible story, isn't it? It's a true story, isn't it? One day after Jesus had begun to teach the gospel of God, he sent his disciples out to teach and heal people far and wide. When the disciples returned, they wanted to tell Jesus what they had done while they were away. But the town was crowded and noisy. Jesus said, "Let's go to a quiet place and rest a while." There's Jesus, and he's talking to his apostles, right? His friends. So Jesus and the disciples rowed across the Sea of Galilee to a quiet place. The people saw Jesus leaving. They watched to see where he was heading, and then they took a shorter way to the quiet place. When Jesus reached the other shore, people were already gathered there. People loved Jesus so much they just wanted to be around him and hear his stories. The people seemed like lost sheep to Jesus. He knew that they needed him to be their shepherd. So he healed those who were sick, and he comforted those who were unhappy. Isn't that just like Jesus, always so kind and loving and generous? Then Jesus went up on a mountain with his disciples. He looked down and saw that the crowd had grown even larger. Look at all those people. There were about 5,000 men, women, and children. It grew late. Jesus told his disciples, "Give the people something to eat." The disciple Philip said, "Even 200 silver coins would not be enough to buy food for all of these people." Jesus said, "How much food is here? Go and see." The disciple Andrew answered, "There is a boy with 5 loaves of barley bread and 2 small fish. But how can we feed so many people with so little food?" There's the boy with the basket, and there's the disciple Andrew. Wasn't that remarkable that the boy was going to share what he had with others? Just like the story we read today, the little girl named Annabelle in Extra Yarn. She was so generous and kind too, wasn't she? Jesus took the bread and looked up to heaven. Then he blessed the loaves and broke them. He handed the pieces to his disciples to give to the people. The fish, too, were broken, blessed, and given to the people. And even though it was only a little bit, the crowd was huge. There was plenty of food for everyone after Jesus blessed it. That's a miracle. How could that little amount of food feed 5,000 people? That was a miracle, right? Only God's Son can do that. When the people had eaten enough, Jesus told his disciples to gather up the leftover pieces of bread and fish. They filled 12 big baskets with the pieces that were left over after everyone had eaten. The people wondered at the miracle Jesus had done, feeding so many people with so little food. Can you believe they even had leftovers? Wow! Jesus had sent the people away after that. He told his disciples to row back across the sea. Jesus said he would come to them later, and then Jesus went up the mountain to pray. What an amazing story from the Bible. The miracle of the 5 loaves and 2 fish. Jesus, the Son of God, performs another miracle. We are just amazed at the Bible stories, aren't we? I have a fun song about the miracle of the loaves and the fishes. Are you ready to hear this? And don't we want to be like that little boy in the story that shares what he has with others? All right. What a great story from the Bible, and what a great song. And we want to say thank you, Jesus, for loving us so much and for teaching us how to share and be generous and kind. Now, guess what? I have a fun game that we can play about loaves and fishes. Come on, let's go.